just left the contractor right now at this apartment that I'm renovating, and it's a lesson about clarity in business, right? So whenever we're negotiating with somebody, whenever we're talking with somebody, there's a tendency to want to be vague. Why do we want to be vague? We want to be vague because we hope that we're going to get the benefit of the doubt. We're vague because we say, oh, there's a little bit of obscurity in what I'm saying. I can interpret it in my favor. And you know what? They are probably doing the exact same thing, interpreting it in their favor, right? So I just told this guy, we were talking about a flooring project where part of it is laminate, that click technology, but part of it in the kitchen and the bathrooms is going to be tile. And I was deciding between two contractors. One contractor told me two different prices for the vinyl and the laminate. He said it was going to be $1 a square foot. Very good price for the vinyl, which is going to be the click technology. And he said, okay, you could do it for $3.50 per square foot for the tile, which he said it was a very good deal. And then another guy said he would do it for $1.25 for the whole thing. He said $1.25 for the flooring. This is what he said, $1.25 for the flooring, okay? And so I went back to him, and this is all through text, which is probably a problem because that's where the vague obscurity comes in. I said, okay, is there any difference between this is where my vagueness came in, right? Is there any difference? I was afraid to ask him directly the word price, right? We don't want to say the word price because we're afraid. I don't want to sound like a cheapskate. I don't want to sound like I'm only worried about price. I didn't ask him specifically the word price, but I said, is there any difference between vinyl and tile? He said the same. Okay, there's a little bit of language barriers possibly, but he speaks English, okay? And he said, it's the same. I can show you the text. He said, it's the same, right? So was it right at the same moment we were talking about price? No, it wasn't. So that was also a problem of mine, right? So I asked him, is there any difference? He may have been thinking, well, maybe he's talking about, do I know how to install it, or anything that he could have been thinking. But I should have said, when I was trying to decide on who to go with, which contractor to go with, and I was basing it on price at that point, I should have said, you said $1.25 for the flooring. Will it also be $1.25 for installing the tile? That's what I should have said. And he also does his obscurity and hoping, so he doesn't bring up topics of pay either, which could also be an issue, for me as his client, right? So there you go. Lesson to be learned when dealing with anything in life, at least with with contractors and things where you're buying stuff. The clearer you are, the better. Also with sales, right? Whenever you're selling something, the clearer you are, the better. Don't leave any room for miscommunication, because you're going to sit there, you're going to hope, or maybe it's going to be in my favor, you're going to hope, and ultimately it's, to everybody's detriment in the long run when the clarity comes out, when you realize that two different parties, right, are hoping two different things. And then you have to meet at some point, and you're like, well, the work's already done, and so there's hard feelings, right? All right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pay him. I'm going to pay him for the laminate that he put in, because it's my fault. It's my fault for not communicating properly, right? And then I'm going to have the tile be a second project, maybe get other bids for the tile portion of it. But I'm not going to make an enemy, right? He's a good contractor, somebody I want to keep, somebody I'd like to use possibly again later. And even if I did it, he's a good contractor, he's a good person, and I want to, and I need to, and I should morally pay him and not shortchange him for, my mistake, my lack of clarity.